you know, losing everything is not just about losing, you know, the typical stuff, just like, you know, money or friends or family, although that is a huge part of it. But it's also about, you know, losing a lot of, you know, ethics, morals, a lot of things that, you know, you say, oh, I would never, and those I would nevers become fewer and fewer and fewer. And that's kind of what that song was about. And I wrote that actually when I was going through a real tough period and had some addiction problems, and I actually wrote that song in the midst of it. It's one of those songs that I'm glad to have written it. I really like the song, I like the music. It's one that I like having written, not actually having, you know, during the writing process. It was, you know, it was a little bit painful because it was, you know, it's pretty much autobiographical. But you know, through the last line of the song, you know, when you died yourself, amen. I wrote that right when we started playing it. You know, by the grace of God, you know, having all those compulsions removed, and it was right about the time we started recording this album too, that, you know, I didn't have to deal with those issues the way I had been.
There's you know, there's a certain amount of truth to the fact that if you're going to be a good songwriter, you've got to, you know, you've got to be flawed enough to have screwed up a fair amount and insightful enough to realize it. And, you know, that's what art is.
These are the Dead Flowers. To my left, a good old friend, a fantastic bass player and singer, local boy Rich Shefke. Please, for Rich. Our more or less brand new drummer, who's absolutely terrific, and we're lucky to have him. Please welcome Mark Martinez. And in an incredibly happy coincidence, about my favorite guitar player in the world is in my band. He's going to sing the next song for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Austin.
This song's called Losing Everything.
Losing everything, still not enough, you try. Losing everything, but you can't give it up, you find. Losing everything doesn't include the pain you'll find. Losing everything is all that you gain when you fly alone and you try alone, always cry alone. The world comes crashing in when you can't escape. Only masquerade, the only one at the ball. But everyone sees you fall and you try, losing everything, but you just can't do what you find. Losing everything, there's nothing to it. You pay for it, pray for it, say and do anything for it. You'll find losing everything is all that you gain. I got one more bet, hasn't happened yet. If you buy the lie, that'll be your last regret. One is way too much, 100 is not enough. They say when you lose it all, you never feel a fall when you're here. When you find losing everything, still not enough.